Hello, folks. Pastor Rocky Branch. Hope you're doing great today. Well, as you can see, I have my son Aaron here, and what a joy to have him. Say hello, Aaron.
Hello, Aaron.
Hey, we're doing good here at Christmas time. We're having a fun time. Aaron lives in Gainesville and Alicia in Chicago, and we have both of them in for Christmas. We're having a good time. Aaron's a student at Santa Fe, and he's studying political science. So, tell me a little bit about what you're studying.
It's basically about the world economy and the world political system and how it interchanges with each other and how it's relevant to each other.
One of the things that we've noticed, he and I talk a little bit about this, is that we're recognizing that America is kind of turning like the Roman Empire. In the scripture, we see that there's a downgrade to America, and how do you see that politically?
I definitely think it lines up, and it's very interesting that a lot of political analysis don't see the connection with it. I think it's very interesting that um, the connection between the way that the Bible refers to it and the way that we are actually headed is completely parallel, and it's almost like there's a blindfold on.
Yeah. Rome ruled the world,
Correct.
everything. Rome brought us three things that America has America's kind of the big brother of. Universal language, Rome brought us. Rome brought us travel, which Rome did it with roads. All roads lead to Rome. And then, of course, America's done that, obviously, with high-tech travel and, everywhere all the time. And then world peace.
Right.
Rome gave us that. So America's kind of the big brother of that. And, with your studies, economically speaking, we're falling.
Yes.
We're going down. So how do you see the similarity?
I think one of the biggest things that connect everything is the the closer we go to like a one world kind of race and religion.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting because everything's becoming the same. And I think eventually that will be the downfall for America.
Do you see that like downhill sliding quickly, or do you see a slower move on that, or do you see it really, really rapidly increasing?
Depending on the issue, I think with healthcare and things along those sorts, I think it's more rapid. But as far as the whole scale of things, I don't think we'll see it in our lifetime.
Okay. Well, you grew up in the church, of course, and you have a biblical background, so you can compare the two.
Right.
Yeah. So politically, which is mostly a non-believing, for the most part, group of people, and then you have the benefit of understanding the scriptures to know at least where we're coming from, preachers and teachers and whatever are coming from. Do you think that our nation, our political leaders, do you think they have a clue about the biblical?
I do. I think it's just a jaded thing. In fact, when you debate these things, you have to almost have like a nature of secrecy about it because the separation of church and state is so prevalent. I mean, they're trying to get "In God We Trust" off of our money.
Right.
The
Yeah.
Pledge of Allegiance has been gone for a long time. Prayer in schools has been gone for forever. It seems like. So I don't know. I just feel like it's a very jaded aspect, and I think that that's why a lot of debates don't really get anywhere, because even if you do come from a theological standpoint, it doesn't really hold ground because there's always going to be somebody trying to counter it with like a logical
Right.
mindset. So I don't think that it's going to be accepted just because it would be giving way and giving back to the separation of church and state by making it come together again.
Well, you're 29, you'll
Mhm.
be 30 in February. So the people that's your age, do you see any background, biblical background in them to have any, I suppose, sure foundation? Do you see that in class? People making reference to the scriptures or reference to
No,
righteousness or
I think
anything?
it's more of like a pseudo Christian thing. Like the people that do have that background seem to kind of um, like it's okay to live a certain way here, but like when it's time to come to the foundation of the belief or Christianity, then that's a whole different thing. So it's almost kind of like a pseudo Christian thing that's going on. I think that's big. That's very prevalent among the youth.
Do you think it's shut down? Do you think it's frowned upon? Because I remember years ago, if you stated a faith, a biblical position, you were kind of frowned upon. So then people, because of that, would withhold because they felt like that they would be persecuted, embarrassed, made fun of, whatever.
Right.
You know, because we got people watching this that go to work and they're Christian, but sometimes at work everything's crazy and they want to stand up for the Lord, but sometimes they feel like if they do, they're going to be ostracized, sort of pushed to the side, made fun of, whatever. Do you see that?
I think the most interesting point is I don't think nowadays people care if you belong to a church or if you have that faith. I think the contradiction comes when you try to put that faith on someone else.
Okay.
I think that's where it is. Like people these days that I see don't really have a problem with how you believe or what you believe. It just seems to be very prevalent that once you put those beliefs on someone else, that's when it becomes a problem.
So you're talking about pretty much
Witnessing.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, I mean, we've run into that over the years where, people are hammering, and that's never been one of my deals as far as that goes, because I think you got a right to believe the way you want to, and my own testimony is I can tell you what it did for me.
Right.
And that may not be everybody. But for me, I've just never been that type of person that hammered people because, now I would definitely, in conversation, if people come to me, say, well, according to the book, this is what it says.
Right.
But you feel like that we've got a tolerant society then, that, A can believe what A wants to believe, B can believe what B wants to believe, and you can still sit at the same table. And
kind of like a coexist mentality. Yeah, I definitely think it's evolved a long way. The only bad thing about it is I think it's gotten to the point where it's like, you believe that and let me stay over here kind of thing. But the interesting thing is that for people that do go to work and are trying to present that, I think it's very interesting to maybe not be over the top with it in a way where it's almost like preachy. No pun intended.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
But almost one of those things where, people are going to watch you if you have that stance.
Right.
So they're going to watch what you do, how you react in bad situations when things crash. Like, how do you react? Because they know how they react.
Right.
To see how you react is a whole different ballgame.
So, someone that's stable and remains stable, stability in faith, whatever, and lives out their faith, I guess is what you're saying. They live it out. They're most likely going to have someone when they hit the wall, because everybody's hitting the wall at some point.
Sure.
I'm hitting the wall. You're hitting the wall. People are watching, you're hitting the wall. Everybody's hitting the wall at some point. So if that be the case, they're going to need somebody to come to.
Right.
Yeah. So you see that as a better, from being someone that's in school, working, out in the world, so to speak, on a regular basis, you see the benefit of somebody being real, I guess.
Yeah, but then again, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, because in a way, it almost doesn't matter how you are, because we're so distracted by social media, and there's a new app every day. It's just technology in a way has completely made us live in our own world, so that you actually don't even listen to anybody unless they see it on their feed. So in a way, yes, it does kind of work when you don't have that ability. Like maybe even in a plane if something goes wrong. Just like small situations like that where you don't have access. But it's really interesting that I feel like technology has completely isolated everyone.
So it's made us less personal.
Oh, very much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, the Roman Empire, of course, is something that we all deal with all the time as far as the Bible goes. And we saw that the Roman Empire, by the way, fell from within.
Right.
Never was conquered.
Destructed themselves.
Yeah, not one time. Never was conquered. And biblically speaking, that's kind of the way that America is. And, of course, you in political science, you have an additional benefit, like I say, of having a biblical background to see kind of the big picture of what's going on.
Right.
So, any last words?
Go get them in 2014.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, look, guys, thanks for watching. This is Pastor Rocky and his son Aaron, and trust that you have a great day. God bless you, and thank you so much.